All right, good evening and welcome everybody to the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. My name is Nick, call sign is KN6DAL, and we appreciate everybody coming out tonight just before Christmas. First and foremost, we want to take a moment to thank all of the owners and supporters of the repeaters out there. First and foremost, we got the W6VVR repeater and the Vacaville Radio Club. Also, a big thanks to the Freestar Network for the use of their repeaters and digital connections, and to the owners and operators of the Mountain West system. And a big thanks to Mike, WG5EEK, Greg, KN6KIE, and Brian, KK6BXP, for their continued networking efforts. And if there is any priority or emergency traffic at any time throughout the net, you can clear the frequency with break break and your call sign. Do we have any emergency or priority traffic at this time? All right. The 2 Meter Crew is not an actual club. We're just a group of hams that are learning and enjoying all things ham related. There's no dues or fees to be a 2 Meter Crew member. For more information, you can check out our website at 2metercrew.net. You can also join our Discord group. There are links in the description on YouTube to check into those. This is an open net, and it's welcome for everybody. So please feel free to join in, chime in, say hi. Tonight we don't have a topic. We're just going to talk a little bit about what our plans are for Christmas and going into the new year, and hopefully we can get some people out there that have something to say. The 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net meets every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's also, I believe it's 4 a.m. currently UTC on the W6VVR repeater. We also have several different digital connections, one of which is Echolink at W6VVR-R. Also, Allstar Nodes 51094 and 512342. DMR Talk Group 3174117. YSF Reflector 50462. Freestar has Allstar links, which are 2195 and 53377. Mountain West P25 and DMR Talk Groups are 31062. And you can also check us out on our Zoom link if you want to jump in the chat and say hi. There's a link to that in the comments on YouTube. If anybody wants to jump in on that, there's a waiting room, and we will be letting people in as we conclude some check-ins. All right, last but not least, we are streaming live at Northwest Ham Shack. If you like and subscribe to the channel, you can get notifications when we go live. Before we get started, there is one little moment of business I just wanted to go over real quick. I'll pull this up and share it on YouTube and for you guys to see. But if you guys go to actually, I'm just gonna share this on YouTube so everybody can see it. But if you go to freestar.network, starting on the 25th on Christmas and going through the first of the year, Freestar is celebrating their 1-year birthday. So the Freestar Network has been live and going strong for a year now. I don't know if you guys remember last year they had a really successful check-in based net on Christmas Eve. There's a lot of cool events that are kind of taking place. So if you check out that website, you'll get notifications when things are going live. We've also got our friend in the chat here, Chris, Digital Analog Ham, and he will be doing a net on one of the nights, and there's just going to be a lot of really cool stuff going on. So if you want to learn more about how to get connected with them, you can check out their website, and that is freestar.network, and find more information there. All right, let's see who we got out there. Anybody want to check in? Come on in now and say hi. Cue the music. Connor, the cricket music.
I can't find it, man.
I'm just kidding.
I let you down.
All right, this is Nick KN6DAL with the 2 meter crew anti-net. Any check-ins from anywhere, any modes, come on in now.
Gotcha.
I can mute you. All right, this is Nick KN6DAL. Let's hear from somebody in the chat. How about Bert? Bert, you have a very festive background going on there. What are your plans for the holidays, and how's your last couple weeks in ham radio treating you?
It's been good. I went down to LA over the weekend, see my family down there, and I tried to bring my my HF radio, but and set it up, but there was no chance to get that up in there. But it was cool. As for the weekend coming up, I'm just going out to my in-laws. Maybe I'll bring out my radio out there, see if I can set it up and get some contacts then. Let me get my call sign in there, N6EFR.
All right, thanks, Bert. Yeah, I honestly don't know how much radio I'm going to be playing. I've got family in town, but I do plan on connecting and checking into a couple of the nets that are going on Freestar. Those guys have always been a big supporter of us, and they always have a lot of fun people to talk to. And sometimes it's kind of hard to break in and check in with them because there's so many people on that network. I would imagine there's going to be 150, if not more, connections throughout the course of this next week. So that should be pretty interesting to see. But yeah, KN6DAL here. Any other check-ins? Come on in now. All right, next up we got Dan, N6ETR. How you doing tonight, Dan?
N6DAL, N6ETR. Thanks, Nick. Hello, everybody on the internet. I'm doing well. My background image is of the H1 or H4 Hercules, which is the Heathkit flying boat. Or not Heathkit. My mind's in ham radio. The Hughes flying boat. Up in Oregon, which is pretty cool to see if you find yourself near Silverton. My week in ham radio, not a whole lot as far as Heathkits go. I'm hoping to take advantage of the holiday weekend to get some of that done. I recently, in the past couple weeks, got to utilize 1.25 meters for the first time, or 220. I don't know if anybody here is familiar with the Green Donkey, but he likes to kick off interesting bands and modes to play with, and he tries to get other folks involved. And so I wasn't able to reach the Green Donkey, but Fred, W1FRD, I had a couple of great QSOs with Fred between Vacaville and I think his home in Fairfield. So yeah, I got to play with 1.25 meters. Nick, do you want to drop real quick?
VVR said hi.
Hi, VVR. This is N6ETR continuing. And also related to that, Kellen was kind enough to have myself, Servando, and Jason over this last weekend for dinner and drinks. And so, of course, we ended up at Kellen's Ham Shack and talked to K6POU, the Mount Diablo repeater, for a few minutes. And we also connected with Fred again on 1.25 meters. And all three of us kind of passed the mic around and got a chance to talk to Fred on 1.25. So that was pretty fun. So that's pretty much it for my weekend ham radio. And I'm looking forward to catching up on my Heathkit projects in the garage over the holidays. Back to you, Nick, N6ETR.
All right, thanks, Dan. Nick, KN6DAL. You know, it's refreshing to see. I see a lot of the posts that people share, like on Discord, and then I hear you talking, and I hear a lot of the guys that you just talked about talking about 220, and it's nice to see that band getting utilized, because I mean we could all probably agree it's of kind of the VHF spectrum, it's the most underutilized band out of them. And that's not to say that in some pockets of the country it probably gets used a lot, but there's definitely more effort that goes into getting a radio up and working. Most of the time, a good radio for that is a dedicated 1.25 radio, and that sort of thing. So I'm glad to hear you guys are getting on the air with that. We have 2 repeaters in this area that operate that band. I don't really have a radio that's capable of it, other than the Anytone 878 when it's opened up, but it's kind of something that could end up damaging that radio if you're not doing it correctly with the right antenna and that sort of thing. So it's cool that you're keeping that band alive, because we need all the help we can, or they're gonna take those bands from us, and so keeping them active is important. So appreciate that. Let's see if we got anybody else out there that wants to check in. This is Nick with the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net. Call sign is KN6DAL. Any stations, digital, analog, anything out there, come on in now if you'd like to check in.
Did you time out, or is it the VVR times out?
The VVR doesn't time out. I could have timed out, but I don't think I did there. You know, we have ran entire anti-nets where things weren't even connected before, but we worked through most of those problems. All right, this is Nick, KN6DAL. Last on my list for people in the chat is Connor, K7CBL. Take it away, Connor. How you doing tonight?
Good evening. This is Connor, K7CBL. I'm doing all right. Just today was my last day of work, so I'm off until 3rd of January. Just getting time to relax. Haven't done too much in ham radio lately. Just kind of been hanging out, you know, talking on the radio when I can. Not doing anything on HF. All of the LED Christmas lights make it terrible. The noisy power supplies with the wires acting as an antenna, making my noise floor much louder. So, and no, the ones that I have running, I've unplugged them and plugged them back in. They're not mine that are doing it. So I've got neighbors. Everybody's doing LED now. But with that, just kind of hanging out. Happy to be here. So with that, I'll pass it back to you, Nick, K7CBL.
Thanks, Connor. Nick, KN6DAL. I'm going to let this drop real quick. You know, it's funny. I think a lot of people have had that mentality of wanting to move out into the middle of nowhere, but never have I wanted to move out into the middle of nowhere worse than I do now with the noise floor that I have in my area. It's just horrible. I've done the same thing, you know, done the whole test and learn, kind of like what you were talking about, Connor. And it is definitely not in my shack, but it's something very close to me, because I had a situation where my power in our whole area, like a whole square mile around our area, went out, and the noise floor was nothing. I mean, it was just beautiful. I could hear everything. And of course, as soon as that happened, I run home and I grab a battery, and I'm immediately going out to my HF setup and getting things hooked up. And so I know that it's something producing noise in my area. I did, however, have a pretty interesting situation, and this is pretty well documented on YouTube, people having this issue, but related to monitors. So I had a monitor that was producing a ton of noise, and I didn't know that it was this particular monitor, and I've been able to eliminate it through some different setups by putting ferrite beads and trying to choke out that issue, but it's coming from the external power supply. So my recommendation is, if you are going to buy a monitor for your computer in your shack, anywhere near your radio equipment, if at all possible, buy a monitor that has a internal power supply. because it's going to be far less likely to produce unwanted RFI across different HF bands. So just my 2 cents, or at least what I've noticed. But if you can't do that, or you just have a monitor and you're working with what you have, there are some other solutions that you can do. And you can always reach out to anybody on Discord, and we can try to walk you through some of those mitigations. So this is Nick, KN60AL. Let's see if we got any other stations out there. I know it's right before Christmas, so a lot of people are probably stuffing their face with candy right now. But we'll take one last round, see if we got any check-ins. Any and all check-ins, come on in now.
Posted the Zoom link, just a heads up.
Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee. Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee. Right.
All right, Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee. I did not catch your name. If you want to come back with your name and tell us a little bit about what your plans are for Christmas.
Yes, good afternoon. This is Robert, Victor Kilo 2 Delta Yankee in Kellyville Ridge, New South Wales, but all part of the urban sprawl that is Sydney. That's sort of become a tagline of mine. It is, what is it? It's in the 80s Fahrenheit. I think it's about 27, 28 Celsius, which would put it in the lower 80s Fahrenheit. Partly cloudy and rain last night, going to rain tonight. Today is officially the longest period of daylight in Sydney for the year. So longest day of the year, I guess, by 5 seconds more than yesterday. So we're now, after today, it goes backwards and the days get shorter again. As for Christmas, well, probably. It really depends on whether it's going to rain. There's a 50% chance of rain on Christmas Day with a high of about 32, but which is about 90 Fahrenheit. So we will go down to visit my relatives who live about an hour and a half south of here. If it's not going to rain, we will go another hour and a half south to a place called Jervis Bay, which has these beautiful long sandy beaches, white sand beaches, and have a white Christmas. If it rains, we'll just stay where they're at and not make the drive down to the beach. So either way, we'll spend it with my brother-in-law and his family, but it may, hopefully, will be on a white sandy beach. VK2DY, back to them.
Well, thanks for checking in tonight. Yeah, your weather situation sounds completely opposite from mine. It's currently, well, it's 57 degrees in the shack. I think it's about 40 or 39 outside. That's Fahrenheit, and it's pouring down rain. At least it was the last time I was out there. And hopefully it snows on Christmas. We're looking like we might see snow on Christmas Day, but yeah, 80 degrees sounds a lot nicer, and white sandy beaches even more so than that. But I'll say that I'm a little bit jealous, but at the same time, it's always nice to have a white Christmas. But I don't think you get much of that. It being, I think it's kind of getting close to summer or late spring in your area. So. All right, well, I appreciate you checking in tonight, and definitely come back around. It's always nice to hear people from out of the country tell us a little bit about their area. Let's see if we got anybody else out there. Any other check-ins, digital or analog, come on in now.
Net control, please recognize Kilo 2 X-ray India.
K2XI, take it away. How are you doing this evening or morning? I think he's in UK.
Well, thank you for recognizing me. And I'm doing well. And good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever the case may be to everyone out there involved in the link. It's interesting. Night station, I generally take notes, but I didn't write down his call sign. But he was talking about it's the longest day in Australia. Well, it's the shortest day for us here in the continental United States. And our days will start getting longer, while his start getting shorter. We're in the start of our winter, and he's right in the part of his summer, which is interesting. I apologize. I'm kind of rambling a little bit there, but this amateur radio stuff's pretty good stuff. Net control, we're doing well. My name is David, and I'm located in Arkansas, northwest Arkansas, as a matter of fact, in the central part of the United States. Net control, how are you doing?
Yeah, thanks for asking, David. My name is Nick, and the call sign here is KN6DAL, and we're doing good. I'm up in the northwest region of Washington State, and we've got people in our group here from all over. Some of them down in California area. I'm gonna let this drop just 1 second. Hey, you need to go back inside. Okay, I'm sorry.
Dad duties.
That's really cute.
Looks like a nosebleed.
Was it?
All of her Christmas presents are out here.
Nick, you want me to take over? Oh, damn.
No, we're good.
Okay.
No,
Okay.
crisis averted.
I got all stuff.
I had a midstream crisis involving the daughter. No, she just lost a tooth, and she just came out to show me. So I'll go check it out in a little bit. But yeah, so yeah, we've got people all of the area, just kind of hanging out tonight, and it was really good to hear you, David, from all the way from Arkansas. And it looked like you were connected through the Freestar link. Do you have any plans, David, to check into any of those nets that are going to be taking place? We might have lost him.
I apologize. I've got a cat in my face. Let me get that thing out of here. I think he said your name was Nick. There's several nets that I may be able to check into. I've got to check into them when I can. However, this time of year with what's going on, who knows, it's all up in the air.
Well, yeah, hopefully everybody gets a chance to check those out. It's going to be a lot of fun. I appreciate you checking in with us tonight, David. Let's see who else we got out there on the air tonight. Any other stations care to check into the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net? Come on in now.
Hey, Nick, if you want to step away, I can just key up my
M6ZTH.
Justin.
Oh my goodness, Justin graces us with his presence. KM6ZTH from KN6DAL. How are you tonight? No, we're good, Connor. Thank you.
Doing good. Just driving home and happen to be in repeater range right now, so thought I'd check in with y'all. How's everybody else doing out there?
K7CD Mobile, San Ramon.
K7CD, stand by for just 1 second, and I'll take you in just 1 minute. Yeah, Justin, we're all doing really good, man. We're just kind of hanging out just before Christmas, just seeing what everybody's got going on. Some people are hanging low. Some people are using it as an opportunity to be off work and wrap up some projects. What do you got going on?
Oh, we're doing lots and lots of work. Looking forward to hopefully spending some time with the family. It's been a lot of long days this month, but when it's all said and done, it should be an awesome little system that we're building. So hope it works out, and hope to find more time for family and hobbies in the new year.
Yeah, finding that balance is always a killer. You know, a majority of my ham radio life kind of revolves around this night right here. So sometimes that's all I do. Sometimes that's all I do that's ham radio related. And then there's weeks that, you know, I'm constantly doing stuff. It just it's hard. There's you know, I know you've got kids and you got the whole family gig going on. So it's definitely a balance. And I appreciate you taking a minute to come in and say hi to us. I'll move on here to K7CD. TJ, take it away.
Hey, good evening. Merry Christmas, everyone. Just mobiling down the road and turn the frequency on. Good to hear everybody. K7CD Mobile, San Ramon.
Well, we're not going to let you off that easy. You got to tell us what your plans are for Christmas.
Haven't really thought that far yet. A lot of things still in the mix, but definitely spend it with some good friends and enjoy the holidays. Hope everybody else does the same.
Right on. Sometimes that's the most you can ask for. Well, we appreciate you checking in tonight. This is Nick, KN6DAL. Let's see who else we got out there. Any other check-ins? Come on in now.
Cricket.
All right, everybody, keep in mind we do have a Zoom link that is in the comment section in the chat room on YouTube. If anybody wants to join the Zoom chat, we'll take one last round, see if there's anybody else out there that wants to check in, and then we'll move over to hanging out in the Zoom chat for a little bit if anybody wants to join in. So one last chance here. Anybody want to check into the 2 Meter Crew Anti-Net? Come on in now or hang out in the Zoom chat later on. Any check-ins, come on in. Now everybody can attest I'm leaving plenty of room, right? All right, nothing being heard. We're going to wrap up the radio portion of tonight's Anti-Net. I appreciate everybody coming out and checking in. I hope everybody has a really safe and awesome Christmas. If you get a chance to hang out with family, definitely worth it. And I hope everybody has a great night. Anybody want to check in with us on Zoom, you're always welcome in. And we'll open up that waiting room, and you're welcome just to jump on. And then if not, we will see you next week. And definitely be sure to check out the Freestar Network, freestar.network online, and get connected with those folks. That should be a ton of fun next week. So 7-3, everybody. Appreciate you coming out tonight, and we will see you over on Zoom.
Man, we had a pile up there, man.
Well, that's the thing is, like, there was nothing for a minute, and then a bunch of people came in, and then the funny thing is like we'll get people.
All right, Nick. Merry Christmas to you and your family in Snohomish County. 7-3 K7CD Mobile, San Ramon.
We'll get people come in and say that they didn't have an opportunity to check in, and we all kind of like look at each other like, wait a minute, we thought we left a lot of room, but it's funny, like sometimes people will be watching YouTube and then they'll go to check in and they don't realize that there's like a 10-15 second delay sometimes, you know, and so
listening on air,
yeah. So if you're talking on the radio, you just gotta keep YouTube volume off.
Yeah, for sure. Well, what do we have to talk about tonight? Do we have anybody in the waiting room or no waiting room?
No waiting room. I just turned it off.
I was able to reach Donkey over the weekend
Yeah.
on 152, and I was over like close to the 5. I was driving down to LA, and I was just like, man, if this Bowfang can hit the repeater from over here. But it's just like crazy.
I saw that in his. I heard that in his video. I was surprised that you were able to reach him from LA.
Yeah.
That's pretty
It
cool.
wasn't in LA. It's still like just north of Manteca or whatever. But it's still, I mean, that's pretty far out there for getting that Bowfang out there.
Yeah.
High gain antennas at high elevation, man. Those.
Oh yeah.
That's
He's
what
got
they're
his.
perfect for.
He's got his. Was it that square thing that
Oh,
new
the
one that he's got up
hex-
there?
Not the hex beam. What is it? The
It's a
cube- the
it's a quad something. Quad something?
Quad.
Yeah, I can't remember. It's a. I'm trying to think. It's a. God, I can't remember the name of the thing. I don't know how. How that
Did he
compares
make
to
that?
a-
Do you know if he made that or did he just like buy that?
I think he bought it. That would be pretty hard to make. But I wonder how much more effective that is compared to his 10 element 2 meter that he has.
Oh yeah.
Because he used to have the 10 element. So how much more effective would it be, realistically?
Seems to be getting pretty far out there.
Is it the same thing? Is it just like a bigger beam width, or like,
Well,
I've never seen that.
I think it the polarization's different. It creates like a spherical radiation.
Okay.
So I think he could use it for ISS contacts and stuff like that instead of the beam being on FM. I guess it'd be vertically polarized the whole time.
Okay. I don't what it's not a cubical quad. That's not the name of it. What the hell is the name of that thing? I'll just look it up. Hold on. 2 meter quad antenna. Let's see. Okay. A 2 meter 3 element quad antenna. So it's just called a quad. Cubical quad. Okay. So yeah, I was right. All right, let's go a little bit technical into this one because this does kind of intrigue me a bit. Okay. Of course, I wish there was just a way to compare it to like a 3 element 2 meter Yagi, right? So a 3 element 2 meter quad is 9.45 dBi. So I'm not gonna do the math, but okay. So it's got 7.3 dB of gain. Oh, okay. It's not a single direction, I don't think, from what I'm reading. I think it goes front to back. So like how a normal Yagi, like it's a single direction. I think a quad is dual direction. So wherever you're pointing it, in front of and behind it. I don't know.
Can you screen share a picture of it?
Yeah, hold on. Let me pull this up real quick for you. Oh, enable screen sharing. Well, it's really not that it's not that crazy. It's just text on a website, but basically what it says is a 3 element 2 meter designed for 146 megahertz quad. It's a project. It's got a 32.25 inch boom length. And it has about 7.3 dB of gain. Let's see. It's got a bandwidth of 3.9 megahertz. And it's lower than a 2-to-1. The feed point should be around 53 ohms, so that's fine. I'm trying to find a comparison, like what's the difference between it and a normal. So the center, so in a 3 element, the center's the driven, and then each side, one of them is one of them's a reflector and the other one's the director. I don't really understand this antenna design, so I'm probably not the best person to be not really giving advice, but just speaking on it. I'm curious as to I wonder if Derek just bought it because it had more gain, or if he has a very specific reason why he is running it, because it is an odd design when you look at it. It's weirder looking than his big old 10 element that he used to have.
I remember seeing a picture of it on his, on his trunk. It was in his garage before he deployed it. It was like
Okay,
he was still
quad
kinda making
versus
it.
Yagi. Here we go. I might have this, and if this is good, I'll post it. Please don't tell me your website's down. Okay. Because more gain. Okay. It has 2 dB more gain than a Yagi with the same length boom and the same number of elements. It's lighter weight, better front to back ratio, much better side rejection, so it's way more directional. And it's got better front to back reception. Smaller turning radius. So a 2-element quad has 10.6 dB of gain. Not dBi, dB. So that's like, what, 12 dBi of gain? It operates the best at lower elevations. Lower wind resistance. So it's mainly just a big performance gain. So it actually kind of makes sense why he would run that. But the only thing is there's claim again, where is it? Operates efficiently at lower elevation. So the Yagi is always affected by its proximity to the ground, and its VSWR will change as it's raised and lowered. The quad loop, on the other hand, has a very low proximity impedance so that the height above the ground does not cause various waveforms to be reflected back into the air to give the antenna a high angle of radiation. This is also why the quad will be very efficient at an elevation as low as 35 feet or even lower. The quad's low angle of radiation means less skips to any distant station, which results in a stronger signal on the other end where it counts. So it seems like it's just much more directional, has a little bit more gain.
Kilo 6 Delta Juliet.
Like overall, it's much more directional. So it like is basically what it is.
But with 2 meters, I mean, you only need to get it like 6 feet off the ground anyway, right?
Yeah, what I'm reading is in regards to a 6 meter or a 10 meter.
Okay.
But there's no other documentation here that I'm looking at. I just posted a link in the YouTube chat. So I guess that gave us the basic. I'll put it in Zoom chat as well. I guess it gave us the basic information of what the benefits are to a Yagi. I mean, it's probably harder to make, but I would assume that he probably bought it because that's not the easiest thing to build if you think about it. Because I mean, I think we've all seen it. So it's not a simple antenna. Have you seen it, Nick?
No, I haven't. I
So
wanted
it's like
you
a
to post a
bunch of
picture.
Oh, okay. I got you. Hold on. I will send it. Oh, not QRZ. I don't have his picture because I'm not going to go scrub through a video to find it. So I'm just going to post a picture of a 2 meter cubicle quad that I found on Google. Of course, there's no good pictures out there. Oh, eBay. Oh, yeah, eBay. Because that's what I need. Okay, Nick, I'm going to shoot you it on Discord. Maybe you can... I don't know if you want to pull it up on stream. Just make sure you save it to desktop. That way you can zoom in. I don't know if that's a 2 meter one. Personally, I really don't know. So, don't quote me. Alright, what is that? Oh, that's somebody's QRZ profile picture. So, yeah, I have no clue what that is. But that's the same antenna.
Working on it.
Yep. It's definitely a really weird looking one that I don't think neighbors would appreciate. That's for sure.
Looks like a kite.
Yeah, it does. Oh, I've got a radiation pattern chart. I'll send that to you, Nick.
Well, it's at
There's your-
112 on that link that Dan put up, so you don't have
What
to
is it?
scrub all the way.
Oh, well, I just sent Nick a random picture of one that I found on Google. So I guess it's just really good for super directional higher. It's got 2 dB more of gain, right? That's what it says. Yeah, 2 dB more of gain than a normal Yagi would. So like, what's a normal 11 element Yagi on 2 meters? Who makes those things? What's that one company that makes it? Oh God, Cushcraft.
Is Derek's an 8 element?
I don't know. That's just a random picture of a 2 meter one that I sent.
It is an 8 element quad cubicle. He mentions that in his video.
Interesting. It doesn't look like it'd really be all that hard to build.
No.
I don't think it's hard. I think it'd just be time consuming. I mean, do you think you could make it like easily, Nick?
Yeah.
The only thing
skewers,
I would want to find is I'm wondering if these are like fiberglass. They have to be fiberglass because they're flexing, so that it's using tension from the whatever wire is being used to kind of hold those in place.
Yeah.
Okay. So a 10 element 2 meter Yagi from Cushcraft. Nice. Are we not going to talk about what the gain is? Maybe this would? Okay. On 15.8 dBi. So 15.8. So 17.8 dBi of gain. On that cubicle quad compared to a normal antenna. And for people who measure in the real dB measurement, that's 15.65 dB of gain, which I don't think you could probably find. Well, he said it's an 8 element, right?
Yes.
So I'm comparing it to a 10 element 2 meter Yagi, because I think that's a good comparison. I mean, I think that's fair. A 10 element 2 meter.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you got about 15.65 dB of gain, which is, again, 2 dB more than what a normal typical 2 meter Yagi is. So that's actually pretty good.
That's a lot of gain.
It is a lot of gain. They do make higher gain antennas. I see Cushcraft makes their A17B2. That's got 18 dBi of gain. So that's a lot of gain, but again, I think I sent it to you, Nick, there. The radiation pattern is
I'm looking at
actually pretty good.
Dan just put a picture in the chat on the Donkey's actual antenna, and his is similar, a little bit different design. It looks like he's got solid elements. These elements are solid.
Yeah.
Did he build it or buy it?
I don't know.
I know that he's got a couple pictures of it on Facebook somewhere.
But he did the same thing when he got his 10 element. So who knows? I personally cool. I haven't heard Derek. I don't think he points down my way very often, to be honest with you. I used to hear him no matter where he was pointing when he was on his 10 element or 11 element, whatever it was. I used to hear him no problem, but I don't hear him anymore, and that would make much more sense because I'm not catching the signal. There's less coming out the sides and the rear because it's all being directed forward more. So yeah, I haven't heard him in a while, actually.
It sounds like I need to go up to Mount Vaca on Sunday and participate in Sideband Sunday and ask him myself.
Next time we would like a full report by next week, please.
Yeah, 3 pages minimum.
Yeah,
6 preferred.
So is that the spruce goose behind you over there, Dan?
Yeah, that's the flying boat. Yeah, the huge flying boat. If you saw the movie The Aviator, yeah, she will fly or I will leave the country. Yeah, that's the one. It is really quite a sight.
Yeah, I remember when it was in Long Beach and we went tour it or whatever and go inside it and everything like that. I mean, this was way back when I was a kid.
Yep. and they still let you go inside. I was really hoping to actually sit at the the controls, in the cockpit.
Yeah.
But with COVID, they don't let you sit in the pilot's chair and grab the yoke anymore. So I'm like, well, whatever. But I mean, so when they said they built it out of, first off, it's not spruce purely. It's actually mostly something else like pine or Doug fir. But everything is built out of wood. I mean, angle brackets, 2x2 angle brackets that hold conduits are made out of wood. It's nuts. Yeah, it's cool.
Is it a boat plane? I forget the name of those.
Yeah.
Boat-
It's
is
the it's hard to see in the picture, but there's 4 propellers on either side. There's 8 engines total. It's a flying boat. At the end of the wings, there's smaller pontoons.
Oh, I'm familiar. Is it named the Catalina?
No, it's just the original name was the H4 Hercules, I think, or the Hughes flying
Okay.
boat. The media
Yeah.
called it the Spruce Goose, which Howard didn't particularly care for. But yeah, it's because they know there's a metal shortage during World War II, so he had to build it out of wood. That's a prototype.
Is it one of one, or is there?
It is one of one. It actually
wow.
it wasn't completed till after the war ended, and Howard Hughes got basically stuck in a hearing with like the government. They accused him of stealing money or whatever, embezzlement, and it turns out it was just so damn expensive. He actually spent his own money and nearly hit bankruptcy trying to finish it. And it flew across like Long Beach Harbor or whatever. It got, I don't know, 100 feet off the ground, and then it got parked. And that's where
Wow.
it's been. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So it has like no flight time.
It has no flight time. Yeah. It was in Long Beach for a while. Disney owned it for a while. And then it got shipped up to Oregon via barges along the Pacific coast, reassembled at this museum. And what's cool is the wingspan, which is a football field. You would think that they would support the ends of the wings with string or something. But to this day, the wings are self-supporting, and they haven't sagged more than like half of an inch over the last 10 years that it's been assembled, or whatever the numbers are. Anyway, it is good build quality. It's a cool plane.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
I've honestly never even heard about it till now, and I'm just looking at it, some other stuff online. Oh, that's kind of cool.
You guys have never seen the movie The Aviator with Leo DiCaprio?
I've seen it.
Oh my god!
I've seen it. I was bored with it, but I've seen it.
It is an engineering marvel. I would watch the movie and like just skip the first half. The plane alone is cool to learn about.
Well,
Nick.
I'm gonna say good night to YouTube. There's a few viewers watching, so if you want to jump on the Zoom chat, we'll be going for just a little bit longer. And I hope everybody has a safe and happy Christmas, and we will see everybody next week, 7-3.
Happy holidays.
Wow.